When people are reported missing on Delmarva, finding them can often be a tall task, and that's why law enforcement gets the assistance from Delmarva Search and Rescue.
This volunteer group got started about 20 years ago. People, canines, and equines come together to help recover the lost and bring closure to families. And as we continue to look back through the years during this decade of Delmarva life, we go back to the time Katie got to hang out with this crew that so passionately cares about what they do.
Whether they're coming on foot,
Want a base area check,
with canine, or by horseback, the mission of Delmarva Search and Rescue remains the same. This team is out to locate the lost and lighten the burden of loved ones.
There's a lot of people that go missing and they're unaccounted for, and it's the goal at the end of the day is just to bring that person back to their family and bring closure to that family, and that's where we've seen the need over here.
James, or Jim Jackson, is the president of the group that got started almost 20 years ago. It was born because volunteers had the desire to help law enforcement, and they noticed that in this area, there was a need.
We looked around geographically at the region. Where were they strong or where were they weak? There were no teams on the Eastern Shore at that time.
Right now, 24 people make up this team. They step into action when requested by law enforcement. Sometimes they organize the search. Other times, they just do what they're told. Either way, their goal is to do their job thoroughly.
We like to deliver for the police when they ask us to, and for the sheriff's department, get out there and do the job and let them take the credit, because at the end of the day, they're the ones calling us.
Safe to say their toolkit is full and their skill set is extensive. That comes from hours and hours of training, which can be time-consuming, but worth it. They've got team members qualified in ground, canine, and mounted search and rescue. In fact, equines are essential. They're quick, they don't tire, and their height is huge.
The ground searcher sees at this level. We see at this level. So that if there's a ditch or high terrain, that type of thing, we have an advantage over a ground searcher at that point.
Vicki Traynor joined the crew in 2013 with her partner, Peso.
He's now about 25 years old, so yes, I'm telling on you. It's time for him to just about retire. I've been looking for another horse, but haven't found the right one yet.
Because this work isn't for every breed.
They've got to have patience. They've got to be able to take care of road noises, things that might spook a lot of horses. They need to be able to have that ability to kind of handle things, and it takes a special horse, plain and simple.
A special horse can also come in clutch with lost children.
9 times out of 10, a horse. And they're excited by seeing the horse. Or if they're a little afraid when you first find them, you can use the horse. Here, you want to pet him?
Vicki showed us how Peso uses what she calls a scent cone to track someone down. You know he's making progress when he blows out of his nose.
Find it.
Rory here might not have the height advantage Peso's got, but her nose knows.
Yes, good girl. Very good.
Right now, they've got 10 dogs on the squad, trained in human remains detection, live finds, and trailing.
The way I always explain it is if you can smell a pizza when you walk into a pizza shop, the dog can smell all the ingredients. All we do is smell the good pizza. They smell the flour, the oregano, the sauce, all that.
Base to DMV SAR 1.
One of the most important parts of a safe search is communications. Barb Thielen takes care of that.
I'm base. I'm home.
She's also trained in ground and mounted search, but she prides herself in ensuring that every time the crew goes out, she's helping them come back in.
I love knowing that I'm keeping my team members safe in the field. I love knowing that I'm contributing to being able to help with a search.
She credits her late husband's law enforcement career, her volunteer work, and her organization skills for her ability to do the job well. And she stays passionate because of her heart for human beings.
I care about people. I care deeply about other people and their well-being. And it's important to me for those families that I would say would be in what I would call unspeakable pain with the thought of a loved one being lost or missing or possibly deceased, to be able to give them the opportunity to heal. That's just so important to me.
It's that empathy that gives this team energy to do what they do, even in the most difficult circumstances.
That's one of the things is you have to be able to get up in bad weather, in darkness, and go out and do this job.
A job that brings them together as one.
I look at it as a family. I want to know who's in the family. Who am I getting up to eat breakfast with? Who am I going to bed with at that night? Because I have to count on that person when I'm in the field in the middle of the night. I have to know that they have the right mindset, that they have the right equipment, and that they have the drive to stay out there.
And sometimes they're out there and they don't find answers, but it's worth it when they do.
The first time you bring somebody back alive or you get a recovery, you bring closure to that family. Nothing, it's overwhelming when you can see the reaction to a family when you bring back their dementia family member or their lost child or something along that line, or somebody's deceased, but you're able to close that for them and let them move forward. It's an overwhelming feeling.
A team that combines hooves, paws, and hands with the goal of healing hearts.
And you have an opportunity to meet some of the dedicated volunteers who are part of Delmarva Search and Rescue. They're having a fundraiser this Wednesday. Dine at the Spaghetti House in Easton and mention Delmarva Search and Rescue. 10% of food sales will be donated to this group. That's this Wednesday, June 15th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Spaghetti House in Easton. A great meal that will help a great cause.
Delmarva Search and Rescue. Mention them and 10% goes to them.
Yep.